Hey everybody, Jay Super Awesome here. I'd like to welcome you all to episode number 13 of my slasher movie archives. In this video, I will be giving my review for April Fool's Day, Good Friends with Some Time to Kill, released in 1986. Okay, so getting into the plot for this one. When Muffy St. John invited her college friends up to her parents' secluded island home for the time of their lives, she just forgot to tell them it might just be the last time of their lives. As soon as the kids arrive on the island, someone starts trimming the guest list one murder at a time. And what starts out as a weekend of harmless April Fool's Day pranks turns into a bloody battle for survival. I do want to say that I have always been a big fan of the original cover art for this movie. It's pretty simple looking, but it's eye-catching and interesting enough to capture my imagination. And that's something I have always loved about 80s horror cover art. The best cover art for me makes an impression. It's simple, but effective. Okay, so getting into my thoughts for this one. April Fool's Day is a movie that I have always had mixed feelings about. On one hand, I feel like the movie does a great job with the setup of the storyline. I feel like the filmmakers were perfectly able to execute the storyline they were going for. On the other hand, this movie comes off as feeling really tame, especially for a slasher movie. And I know that was intentional because this movie is more about the suspense and the mystery of what's going on instead of the violence and the gore. So I totally get what they were going for, and I do feel like they did a good job for what this movie is. But for me, it just falls flat for the kind of movies I like to watch. And I do feel like slasher fans is the target audience, because April Fool's Day feels like a familiar slasher movie as you watch it, but offers a completely different experience, if that makes any sense at all. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like this movie stands out for its unique twist ending. A lot of the great slasher movies are remembered for endings that really stand out. And for me, this movie has a disappointing ending, but it is very memorable and unique. And considering this movie was set on April Fool's Day, this movie is loaded with tricks and gags throughout its runtime. It's almost like the entire movie is a joke itself, which perfectly fits the theme of the April Fool's Day holiday. So once again, I feel like the overall execution of the storyline was perfectly done. It's just a little tame for me and the kind of movies I like to watch. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the characters we have in April Fool's Day. The fact that this movie has Amy Steele in it is one of the main reasons I come back to April Fool's Day. Her character, Jenny, in Friday the 13th Part 2, is my favorite final girl of that entire series. In this movie, she plays a very similar character named Kit, and oddly enough, she has some very similar lines as she did in Friday the 13th Part 2. I felt like that was pretty weird while I was watching this movie this time. It's almost like they were thinking, if it's not broke, don't fix it with her character. And it's almost like they were also thinking, hey, you were so great in Friday the 13th Part 2, just do what you did in that movie, and we're even fine if you want to say some of the same things. Anyway, Amy still gives another great performance in this movie as Kit, a very similar character as what she has already played before. And maybe it's just me being a fanboy, but I truly feel like she's great in these kind of movies. Anyway, moving on, the most important character in this movie storyline would be Muffy. No, it's Buffy. Confused? Why the two names? Well, you'll just have to watch the movie and find out for yourself. She has decided to invite a group of her college friends to a weekend getaway at her mansion on a secluded island. She has a fun-filled weekend planned and has her mansion rigged with enough practical jokes and gags that I'm sure after a while it would really start to piss people off. Overall, we have a pretty wide range of characters in April Fool's Day, and they're all pretty much what you would expect to see in a slasher movie. It's a group of partygoers who want to drink, have sex, tell jokes, and prank each other all weekend long. So I really did enjoy the characters in this movie, and I thought the acting was pretty solid across the board. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the most important part of a slasher movie, that is the killer and the kills. And for the first time on this channel, I really don't have much to say about the killer or the kills. This movie is all about the suspense and the mystery of who's doing the killing and why. And we don't really ever get to see the killer until the ending reveal. I do like how they were able to set up some misdirection with the killer's identity. It's a very good whodunit setup. As far as the kills go in this movie, it has a decent body count. I will say that how the storyline is structured, it makes for a unique watch for slasher movie fans. Just don't go into this movie expecting to see a lot of blood and a lot of gore, because that's not what this movie's about. All the death scenes are either cutaway or happen off screen, or you just see the aftermath later on when the bodies are being discovered. And for me, that's unfortunate. It just comes off as feeling like a very tame film to me. So overall, still to this day, I continue to have mixed feelings about April Fool's Day. I'm not going to be rewatching this one again anytime soon, and it's really hard for me to recommend to hardcore slasher movie fans. But I do feel like the storyline is decent enough. I feel like the characters and the acting overall were solid for a slasher movie, so maybe it is worth checking out if you haven't seen it before. It's a mixed bag for me. IMDb give it a 6.2. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. So please like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you have seen April Fool's Day, or just let me know what you think about my review. And as always, I would like to thank you all for watching.